Chicago's first car race from 1895 to NASCAR Street Thrills. Imagine the roar of engines echoing through the streets of Chicago, not on a distant track, but right in the heart of the city. Before NASCAR brought its high-octane thrills to Chicago's streets, the city had already witnessed a groundbreaking automotive event that set the stage for the future of car racing. Let's dive into the fascinating history of car racing in Chicago, from the early days to the recent controversies surrounding NASCAR street races. But here's where it gets controversial. Did you know that the first ever auto race in the U.S. happened right here in Chicago? And this is the part most people miss. The event was a spectacle that showcased the burgeoning auto industry and left an indelible mark on the city's history. Shermann Dilla Thomas, a Chicago historian, content creator, and founder of Chicago Mahogany, LLC, takes us on a journey through the hidden histories of Chicago. Thomas, who serves as the brand ambassador and chief of social media for the DuSable Black History Museum and Education Center, shares insights that go beyond the mainstream narratives. You can find him on Instagram or TikTok at @SixFigaDilla, where he continues to unravel the rich tapestry of Chicago's past. NASCAR's recent announcement to pause the Chicago Street Race for 2026, with a potential return in 2027, has sparked mixed reactions from residents and media outlets. The event's timing, coupled with the necessary street closures, including portions of DuSable Lakeshore Drive during a holiday weekend, made it a tough sell for many Chicagoans. But the weather has also played a significant role in complicating the event. Over the past 3 years, the races have faced lengthy delays due to heavy rains and wind, making the experience less than ideal for both participants and spectators. Despite these challenges, the NASCAR Chicago Street Races have become an official part of Chicago's history. Whether the event returns or not, Chicago will forever be known as the first city to host a NASCAR-sponsored race on a street course. As a historian, Thomas finds this fact pretty cool, and it's a testament to the city's pioneering spirit. But let's rewind to the late 19th century, when the first ever auto race in the U.S. took place right here in Chicago. The Chicago Times-Herald Race, held on Thanksgiving Day, November 28, 1895, was the brainchild of Times-Herald publisher H. Colesat. The event was designed not just to sell newspapers, but also to promote the burgeoning auto industry. The first cars in the U.S. had been produced only 2 years earlier, and this race was a monumental step in showcasing their potential. The winner of the race was promised a substantial prize of $2,000, with $1,500 for the runner-up, $1,000 for the third-place racer, and $500 for fourth. In today's dollars, that $2,000 prize would be worth approximately $76,539, a significant sum that underscored the importance of the event. The race was originally planned to run through the streets of Chicago up to Milwaukee and back, but many roads north of Racine, Wisconsin, weren't yet suitable for car travel. So a shorter course of around 54 miles was planned from the south side to Evanston and back, with the start and finish line located near the current location of the Griffin Museum of Science and Industry in Jackson Park. Colesat announced the race to the public on July 9, 1895, hoping to attract hundreds of entries. The event was originally scheduled for earlier in the fall, but had to be delayed until October for the city to pass an ordinance allowing horseless carriages to operate on our streets. The race finally happened on Thanksgiving Day, but only 6 vehicles out of the initial 80 competitors actually arrived at the start line. The weather on race day was brutal, with a snowstorm bringing 6 inches of snow to the city streets, temperatures around 30 degrees Fahrenheit, and strong winds creating snowdrifts. Imagine the conditions. Chicago's roads were not paved for cars, and there were no traffic signals or modern road safety measures. Most cars didn't even have roofs yet. And the event sponsors billed it as a motorcycle race, a term that was just starting to be used. The race took the winner over 10 hours to complete, with an average speed of just 7 miles per hour. Tires on the race cars were often made of wood and constantly needed repair, and competitors had to dodge people and horses along the route. Of the 6 cars that started the race, only 2 finished. J. Frank Duryea of Massachusetts won, driving a vehicle designed and built by his Duryea Motor Wagon Company, the first firm in the U.S. to build gasoline-powered automobiles. The second-place finisher was Oscar B. Mueller, a Decatur businessman who drove a vehicle built by German engineer Carl Benz, who later lent his name to the company we now know as Mercedes-Benz. NASCAR has left the door open for a possible 2027 race in Chicago, but whether they return or not, it's clear that the Chicago Street Race helped build awareness and interest in car racing in the Midwest. The Chicago Times-Herald Race did the same in 1895 for the U.S. auto industry, demonstrating that even in bad weather, repairs could be made to automobiles and travel could continue. NASCAR Chicago Street Races attracted many new fans, offering a stunning backdrop of Michigan Avenue and the Chicago skyline. Their all-in approach to visiting Chicago, including supporting various causes across the city, definitely made a fan out of Thomas. But should NASCAR return to Chicago? That's a question that sparks differing opinions. Some argue that the event brings economic benefits and excitement to the city, while others point to the disruptions and controversies it has caused. What do you think? Should NASCAR return to Chicago? Or is it time for the city to focus on other events and initiatives? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. After all, everything dope about America comes from Chicago, even when it comes to racing. Kenny Wallace on NASCAR's return to Chicagoland in 2026. Exciting updates. Hold on to your seats. NASCAR is heading back to Chicagoland in 2026, and the response is already stirring debate. Whether you see this as a smart pivot or a risky rerun, fans and analysts can't stop talking. Kenny Wallace, former NASCAR driver and outspoken commentator, jumped right in with his take. In a recent episode of Coffee with Kenny, he made it clear he's all for Chicagoland reclaiming its spot on the Cup Series schedule, replacing the much-discussed Mexico City event. "This is just what the doctor ordered," Wallace exclaimed, drawing from his own racing experiences in places like Lincoln, Illinois, and Brownstown. He argued that holding fewer races at a specific track actually boosts fan excitement and satisfaction, a twist that not everyone might instantly agree with. If scarcity increases demand, could spreading out the races keep everyone happier? But here's where opinions start to split. Wallace praised Chicagoland Speedway's design and feel, calling it a gorgeous venue, yet didn't shy away from pointing out its not-so-great location in Joliet. It's a heavily commercialized area, and not every fan relishes the commute through that part of Illinois. Still, Wallace is optimistic. "I think everybody is going to like this one. And this is the part most people miss." Wallace believes this return creates a rare benchmark to compare NASCAR's appeal between a traditional speedway and the recent headline-grabbing Chicago street course. "Let's actually see how the crowd in the grandstands matches up, and whether TV ratings rise or fall," Wallace urged. This could settle the heated debates about which style of race, classic oval or urban spectacle, truly resonates more with viewers. As for the street race itself, he added a little intrigue. Even though it's off the schedule for now, rumors persist about its possible comeback after 2027. Beneath the excitement, there's a reality check. Chicagoland Speedway isn't exactly turnkey ready. Reports say reviving the facility for NASCAR's return will require about $4 million in updates and renovations. For reference, the track, a 1.52-mile-long circuit with an asphalt surface, had hosted top NASCAR series from 2001 until 2019, before dropping off the schedule. NASCAR moved its Chicago action downtown. trying out the street race experiment for the last 3 seasons, but now seems ready to revisit its suburban roots. But here's where the story gets interesting. Recent flyover visits by current driver Carson Hocevar revealed the track is in better shape than expected. Kind of abandoned, but obviously somebody is taking care of it. The infrastructure is still there. Is the audience? If racing history means anything, Chicagoland has seen legends like Tony Stewart, a 3-time winner, and stars such as Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, Martin Truex Jr., and Kyle Busch, with 2 wins each, dominate its pavement. Could this legacy help reignite NASCAR's following in the region? Or is this simply nostalgia chasing a crowd that's moved on? What do you think? Does bringing back Chicagoland signal NASCAR's return to its roots? Or is it a step backward from attempts to modernize with street races? Should the league invest millions for a familiar venue, or keep rolling the dice with new locations? Jump in with your hot take. Does this move excite you, or do you think NASCAR should swerve in another direction entirely? NASCAR cancels Chicago Street Race for 2026. Possible 2027 return? NASCAR has decided to pause its Chicago Street Course race for the year 2026, marking a significant shift in its approach to street racing. This decision comes after 3 successful seasons of stock cars racing through the streets of Chicago, which began in 2023. The announcement was made on Friday, and it has left many fans wondering about the future of this unique racing format. After enjoying 3 years of success, we will take a break from the Chicago Street Race in 2026. This pause will allow us to collaborate with the city of Chicago to explore new potential dates and to create a plan that enhances our operational efficiencies. Our aim is to return to the vibrant streets of Chicago in 2027, stated Julie Geese, the president of the Chicago Street Race for NASCAR. This event featured a specially designed temporary course in Grant Park, making it a historic first for the NASCAR Cup Series. It was one of the few street courses in NASCAR's history, reminiscent of the races held at Linden Airport in New Jersey during the 1950s. The introduction of this street course was part of NASCAR's broader strategy to innovate its racing schedule, which also included a temporary track set up in the Los Angeles Coliseum. The Chicago Street Race represented NASCAR's return to the Chicagoland area after the closure of the Chicagoland Speedway in Joliet, Illinois in 2019. It replaced a previously scheduled event at Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, which had hosted the Cup Series for 2 consecutive years. In an exciting twist, Shane Van Gisbergen, a renowned driver from the Australian V8 supercars, clinched victory in 2 out of the 3 races held on the Chicago Street Course, alongside fellow competitor Alex Bowman. But here's where it gets controversial. Will this decision to pause the race impact NASCAR's fan base in Chicago? Many fans are left to ponder whether this is a temporary setback or a sign of deeper issues within the organization. What do you think? Is this a wise move for NASCAR? Or could it alienate fans who have embraced this new racing format? Share your thoughts in the comments below.